What up, brothers? Welcome back to my channel for another slice of gangster action from them pesky damn toys. A lot of you guys know I was tweaking for this figure about 2 months ago when it were announced, and a lot of you guys know I was buzzing to get it in hand. I'm going to do a shout out to a guy and a girl over there in Singapore where this were released 2 weeks ago as an exclusive, limited to 300 in the world. It is the Jack of Spades Gangsters Kingdom figure from Damn Toys. It's also known as the exclusive or colour variant. I've got to say, it was easy for me to get in the end. I thought I was going to fuck up and miss it, but I cast my net wide. I asked a few people to get it me, and luckily I did get it, and I did get it at cost price plus shipping. So I'm buzzing to have done that. I'm going to shout them guys out shortly. But looks like we've started a revolution with these figures, and the revolution will be televised, and it'll be on Uncle Clipper's YouTube page. So let's crack on. We will review it up. I'll get you some scores on the doors. I'll compare it to the original Jack of Spades figure, which I've luckily got, and also I'll show him you displayed with the other members of the team so far. So this could be a long review. If that's not your thing, then watch it in parts or turn off altogether. If you do enjoy these figures, please join me for a comprehensive look and review on this figure. Right, let's get me shout out done. I've got to say a massive thank you to a guy and a girl over there in Singapore, like I mentioned. This is the name termination time because I'm not good with Asian names, so I could be terminating this, but I hope I'm not. And it's Po Ren Cheng, who is a member and I think runs the Singapore Hot Toys Buy, Sell and Trade group, which I am a member. Massive shout out to that guy, because when I made it known I were looking for this figure, one of the first guys to contact me, which, like I said, were probably 6-8 weeks before it were released, and he says, no worries, I've watched your channel for a while, I'd be more than happy to find you this figure, I will be going anyway. And I was like, nice one, I appreciate it, look, whatever it costs, I need to get hold of one. I collect the rest of the gang, sent him some pictures, or we exchanged some pictures, told him how much I wanted it, and he said he was more than happy to help. In the meantime, leading up to it, I sort of started asking around because I thought if he gets in the queue but doesn't get it, then I'm going to be fucked. I'm not going to end up with it. So I thought I'll ask around, even if it means that 4 people picking me up, then I will buy them just to make sure I get the one I want, and then I'll sort it out from there on, so to speak. I've also got to shout out a young lady called Belinda Go, and that's G-O-H, because in the end, it was the money. I transferred the money to her and she sorted out the shipping. I do believe that's Poe's girlfriend, so a massive shout out to both of them. They did include me the t-shirt, they boxed it up really well, and they did charge me the cost price. They never took a cut, which I was buzzing to see, because what happened in the meantime were, at the end of Saturday, I knew 2 people had got me Poe had got me one, and also another guy who I'm not going to mention because I don't want to spotlight no bullshit for him. Said he'd got me one, but then each other found out they'd both got me one, and then the other guy decided he didn't want cost price for it no more. He says, because you've got 2 and one of them's at cost, I want more for mine. I was like, well, what do you want? And he was like, I want $400 plus whatever shipping. I was like, no mate, you're too rich for my blood. I know I'm getting one at cost anyway off Poe, so I'm not going to do that. I says it was never a case that I want to get them both cheap and sell them on. If I'm honest, if I would have got a spare one, I would have offered it Wyman, because Wyman was the guy who introduced me to these figures, and I think it would have been only right, and I would have sold it to Wyman at cost price had I have got that second one at cost price, but I didn't get it. He decided he wanted too much, I couldn't do it, and I thought, no, as long as I've got one, I'm more than happy with that. I don't want to stockpile them, because that's not fair if there is only 300 in the world. I just want my own. So like I said, I went with Paul and Belinda, and they were as good as they were. They didn't take a cut off me. They charged me the stock price plus shipping. Although shipping is expensive from Singapore, I understand that, because it were going to be about, I think about 90 quid for EMS, which is what I normally get from Hong Kong. Thought I don't want to be paying that on shipping. I did the sort of economy shipping, which were just under 2 weeks, and I think the shipping were about 45 quid. So shipping from Singapore is proper expensive. So if you ever buy over there, just take that into account. But like I said, the figure only cost me the price that it cost them guys, and they did queue from all day. Now we'll just clear this topic up, because there are a lot of guys and friends of mine as well in the communities who were also tweaking for this figure. They really wanted one, and it was pretty much a situation where you've got to have your own back covered, so to speak. Do we know each other? Can we get each other them? That sort of thing. We were pretty much, as hands were tied, because obviously we weren't in Singapore, so whatever the guys in Singapore wanted to sell them for, you either bought it for that price or you went to eBay, and that's how it went. Like I said, I were lucky. I don't know if it were to do with me established YouTube channel or my Facebook group or what, but like I said, Paul decided he was selling me one at stock, and I can only thank him for that. Although if he did get 9 others and he made money on them, also good luck to him, because I've got to be honest, and I've got to say, I used to condemn scalpers and these people who queue and buy pre-order tickets and blah, blah, blah to push the price up. But when I think about it, if there were a London exclusive release and I could get 20 of them, would I sell them for cost price? I think if I was stood in the queue all day, chances are I would be trying to make a bit of money. I don't know if I'd try and double the price, but I think I would be trying to do it because nobody wants to do anything for notes. So, and like Anthony said on that picture he sent me the other day, if you're good at something, why do it for free? So if you can pick these figures up again, why do it for free? But anyway, I got mine, and good luck to everybody else who wanted them. So, like I said, massive shout out to them guys, and I thank you. And it is a figure I will buzz in, and it won't be getting sold anytime soon. And I do respect you for shipping it well and the good communication I've had with you. So thanks a lot to Paul and Belinda. Let's move on and get some scores on the doors. We'll talk about the source material. Right, let's start the scores. And we're going to start with source material. I will just show you, I've took off his shades, but left his hat on in the original pose. All he's doing is just pricking his finger with the flick knife. Pretty simple, pretty straight out of the box. Took his scarf off and just displayed him like that. You will notice the hat's off to the side, which is how I prefer it. You can pretty much put it how you want, but I'll show you that when I get to the outfit. Source material, I've said this before on the reviews I've done on the Gangsters Kingdom stuff before. There is no source material to speak of. All that you can really take into account is what the box tells you, and then let your mind run away with you. You build a picture in your mind of these characters, what the character stands for, how the characters interact with each other, or who's got who's back, who used to be friends with who, and so on and so forth. And I've said before on the other reviews, I really like that, because other than that, all you're doing, like a Joker figure, you're watching the film, you like the character, and you want an accurate representation to that, and that is pretty much as far as it goes. With these, for me, it's that sort of let your brain wander. You could sort of, in your mind, you can think of episodes of Sopranos, or I don't know, the mafia films we've seen, and we can take scenes from that but put these characters into place and that sort of thing, and I really do like it. I've said before, when the box comes, I'm interested to read the write-up on it or find out. People have been typing up everybody's backstories, and then a new one's announced, and then there's a new backstory, and my mind just wanders, and I do like them. The source material, the stylized, cartoonish artwork, I really like. In fact, I love it, if I'm honest. I really do. Much more than a lot of the Hot Toys figures I buy. Some Hot Toys figures, I can't wait to get hold of them. Like the Terminator 1 Battle Damage version, which is down there at the moment. I reviewed that last week and really loved it. But this, I don't know, this, it's like, you know, you had a sticker book when you're a kid and you're trying to fill a certain page. This is how I feel with this, like a more grown-up version. That completist nature comes out of me where I'm thinking, no, I'm not fucking missing one. They've just shown the side story version of Saxon, which is an Ed Harris sculpt. There's nothing with it, and I don't know what it costs. I don't know how I'm going to get hold of it, but I already know something inside me saying I want it, because I know where I want it stood on my shelf. It'll look awesome with others, and there's no fucking way I'm missing one. And that is how I feel with them, and I don't feel like that with Hot Toys at all. So that, for me, the source material with that, although there's nothing I can say, well, it relates to this, my mind, all I can say is in my mind, I just know that the source material is something really cool to me, and something very instinctive in me really wants to get hold of them. I also like, and I don't want to take too much credit for this because I was introduced to them by someone, I think when I reviewed Wyman's, I sort of spotlighted these figures. Well, at that time, nobody seemed to have them, or the people that had them weren't really bragging about having them. They'd sort of picked them up on a whim at a reasonable price and sort of collected them, and a lot of time were trying to sell them. And then it's sort of like a snowball started to roll and gather pace, and now you're looking in a lot of these forums and there's nearly as many posts of these Gangsters Kingdom figures as there is as Hot Toys, particularly when one's due out or one gets announced. And I really like that, because I do take a little bit of credit where people will say, well, I never even knew about them until Rick showed them in a video. And I think, if that's the case, even if that video only got 1,000 views, I'm really proud of that video, because it introduced people to something that they might have never found, and I do like that about it. But to give it a score and to stop fucking beating around bush, the source material, again, like I've done with the others, I am going to give it a 5 out of 5, because my imagination just goes wild. Moving on to the packaging, and this is probably going to be a repeat of what I've said about all the other packaging. If you have seen the review on the other Gangsters I've done, you could pretty much just play them back, because it's the same thing again. Like I've said before, I really do love the design and what the packaging features on these. They're small and storable, and particularly now I've got to store all my boxes at home, that is very handy. I never realised the fucking pain and heartache you guys went through storing your boxes at home. I used to be lucky enough to be able to store them at work, but obviously due to events at summer I can't do that no more. So I do have to store them at home, and these small boxes, I really do appreciate them. But onto the design, really like it. They're always different, but in a similar sort of way. You know what you're going to get. It's going to be like some kind of design background. It's going to have the gang symbol around the profile of the headshot. You know the card rank that it represents will be in the ear. As you see, that's a J. His name is J. Gangsters Kingdom. As you see, it's chromed lettering on this one, so it catches the light really nice. Moving down. We'll go to hell. See you in hell. From Damn Toys. On the side, you do see the sort of the cherub design. Got a feeling of the Sistine Chapel painting. Yeah, the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel with the cherubs and that all piled on. This chrome symbols on there, and the artwork there. The serial number. And this one is it's GK001 again, but it's the EX, so the exclusive version of the first release, so to speak. Some people also call it the colour variant. Turning around to the back, again, same picture that's on the original J box. It's like a fat guy stood guard. Then you can see the hand with a flick knife coming around behind him. Very reminiscent of the scene at the beginning of Leon, or Leon the Professional. This looks good. You can see the fat dude with the Uzi in his hand. He's just about to get his throat cut from behind. Again, do like the styling. I do like the quality of the card, because it is good, really thick, don't mark easy. Magnet side, which is nice, and I do like the design inside. So let's take a look at that. So as we move inside, the inlay slip, again, it's the black on black. The guy just about to have his throat cut. On top of that is the loose playing card. Again, it's the Jack of Spades, and then this sort of reverse picture of Auger in this outfit. And then on the flip side, it's like a skeleton version of a Jack of Spades. Moving down, so it catches the light really nice. When you pull that out, underneath is 2 layers of sponge, which house the figure in the top one and the accessories in the second. No danger of anything being damaged, because it's really well housed. And then this side is something I always look forward to having a read of. Again, the church feel on the inside of the box, really nice design again. And then you do get the write-up. It is just a repeat of what came in the original box, but I think the way Damn Toys have gone about this is, for all the guys who never got the original J, or the J's that got sent out and got recalled because of the sort of the dye coming off the cap, I think they had to put this figure out again to give people a chance to go and get the Jack of Spades, because they wouldn't have had the original one. I luckily do have both. So right, let's move down this. I'll try and get in shot. If you want to read it, you can. Although I will say, on the Sideshow Freaks thread that was set up for these figures, there is a copy of everybody's backstory, thanks to I can't remember who wrote it. Sorry for my ignorance, but a guy did take the time to write everybody's backstory, and it was really appreciated. So yeah, do love the packaging. I do love the thought that goes into it. Again, it's all uniform. If you had them all stacked together, they would look very similar, but then also different in design, and I do love that about it. I've given all the others a 5 out of 5, so this one would be no different. I'm going to give it another 5 out of 5. Rolling on to the likeness, and I'll start off where I normally start with these figures. I would say likeness to who? Most people know, or pretty much agree, that this is based on Jason Statham, and obviously you do see the resemblance. To me, like I always say, it don't matter at all who it's related to, as long as the line fits together in general, so to speak, so you can see they are all characterized or caricatured by the same artist or working to the same hymn sheet, then that's good enough for me. I don't care if they look like actors, although I do think that is like a really nice gimmick, and it does get people talking about which character is who. So yeah, I've seen it also said that it is the exact same sculpt as the first version. I do agree with that, although I think there is subtle differences that you would have to see together, which is why I'm going to show them you together in a minute. The main difference being this one's eyes are painted straight forward, where the original J's are slightly off to his left, and I will show that in a minute. But again, same expression, although they are changing it on the Memories version, where it comes suited and booted, which does look a good figure. I'll be looking out for that one. But I will say, I really do like it. It is a cartoonish sculpt, like I've said before, although the paint is very, very professional. The subtle differences between sort of the skin colour on his cheeks, for example, down to his stubbled section of his face. The eyes are very cleanly painted. The sort of the darker sections where his eyebrows would be, the sunkness of his eyes. I don't know if sunkness is even a real word. I'm sorry for that. Even the subtle colour changes through his hair. You see the darker going up to lighter at the top. So yeah, the head sculpts are really nice, and like I said, because it is a style or design that I like, I am biased towards them. I think they can pretty much do no wrong for me as it stands at the moment. That might change over time if I see him keep repeating the same head sculpt or not. I don't know. I like the fact that the head sculpt sort of goes with the clothing and the character that I see in my mind or is believable to me. And I think this one does in both releases so far, and even like I said, the Memories version that's come in, the different sculpt that comes with the art and the different style of shades and the suit with the sniper rifle. I just love it. I love the look of it. So I think what we'll do is we'll have a look at them together just to show you the difference between the first release and this one. So this is the version 1 head, and I will just show you. I don't keep it on the figure, the correct figure, for the simple reason is I know that the original figure, the cap, the inside of the cap, it bleeds dye onto the forehead. Now I never wanted to ruin my original head, which that is. You can see what I was saying, his eyes are sort of, if you look at him from underneath, they're sort of off and to the left. Show you, give you a good look. This is the first release, like I said, and then that is the second release. I will show them both in shot. That is on a, I think that's a Spade 3 body, so it is a little bit shorter. That was the figure that I built to sort of go with the clipper one that I made myself. So that is a shorter body, but like I said, that is the sculpts together. The paintwork is different because this one uses a more natural flesh tones that I can see in hand. This one sort of has rosier sections on the side of the head and the cheeks, so the paint is definitely different, but the sculpt is pretty much the same. The hair as well on the second release is darker and more defined, and like I said, the major difference is where the eyes are, and it's not even that major. As well, this one looks like it's not got no eyebrow paint, where this one you can see that it does have the dark. So there is subtle differences. although it is basically the same head. I'm not going to say, no, we got a totally different head, because that would be bullshit, and I don't want to do that. So, I love it, basically. I know I'm not surprising you by saying this. I do like the sculpt, even though it is just a redo of the first one, just with subtle paint differences. I am going to give it a 5 out of 5 again. I only know it from the card that comes with it, so that is the only artwork you see of it, but that is good enough for me. And people will say, well, it don't look enough like Statham. To them, I would say, well, it's not supposed to be Statham, it's the Jack of Spades. Some would say you can't say that it looks exactly like it's supposed to. To that I would say, well, you can't tell me it don't look like it's supposed to. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Right, rolling on to outfit. And before we start, or before we get into it, I'll just show you he is wearing the cap, the shades, the hoodie, scarf, his jacket. He has got his bag on. Moving down, his jeans, obviously his keychain on his belt, down to his crocodile shoes. Very nice, but very similar to the first release. Now I'm going to show you these three for a reason. Just to explain quickly, and listen carefully to this. This is a custom figure that I've put together myself, but that is the version 1 head. That is completely the exclusive version, as I said, and this is the version 1, but with a third-party head. The reason that this one wears a third-party head is because of the cap. Now, this is one of the key changes and why I do like Damn Toys so far. They knew the problem with the first one, so they never did it again with the second one. They went for a plastic cap, which I do like, and it fits nice. When it comes, it fits his head nicely. I just warmed it through, put it on his head while it was soft and pliable, like that, and I put it on and I just twist it off to the side, which is how I prefer it. Prefer it off to one side. So a little bit like Neo, a bit like myself when I wear my flat cap. That's how I prefer it. So I do like that, and that is a definite improvement over the first one. I do like the first cap because it's real material and it fits his head really nice. It's more like a Baker Boy style art, but it does this. I'll take the bitch off. That is how it leaves your head. You see, from the inside of the cap, the brown washes through it and onto the head. Now I don't mind that because, like I said, that's a third-party head, and we'll always have the cap on it, or we'll have a beanie hat on if I decide to put that head onto that setup, and then I put that head on to the correct body, but don't put an hat on. So it don't bother me. I knew it were going to do it. That's why I bought the third-party head. That is available on eBay. Pretty easy to find. So let's have a look what else is different compared to these. The new version comes with a black hoodie with a black t-shirt underneath. The hoodie is really nice. I've bought some sort of third-party clothing to do the custom figures, and I will say they don't match how good Damn Toys' own clothing is. It's freaking top-notch. The jackets on both versions, I suppose. Look at the grain. I think it's faux leather, but it's the closest to real leather, faux leather I've ever seen. The cut and stitch is perfect. The working zip up the front on both jackets. That one zips across the pockets as well. This one, I haven't tried if I'm honest, but really nice. This one comes with a scarf, which is wrapped round. I don't know where they thought up the colour scheme, but it just fits so well. Because the jacket is sort of a black jacket with this grey washout through it, and that's good. And the jeans are also, this time, a black jean, but faded down so you can see the whites and the greys through it, where these are pretty much just a flat black with a little bit of weathering on the shins. Even down to his crocodile shoes. These are sort of mint out of box, fresh black crocodile shoes. These, you can see the fading through it. So again, it is all different. This one has a keychain, which you put through the belt at the front, and then as you come round to the back, excuse me hands if you see them, you sort of feed it under his jeans and it's like a wallet. There is actually as well inside the wallet slips where you could put fake 1/6 scale cards in. You see the chain goes round. The little red tag on his jean pockets make them look like Levi's. Really nice. The jacket is just, I don't know, awesome. With the print on the back. Look at tailoring on that. It's unreal. You touch it and you feel like you're touching quality. It's really good. I will say on the hood, I haven't done it at the moment, but if you want to keep your hood so it's down and it hangs correctly, what I do is I get two pence pieces, put them into the hood, and the weight will pull it down so it's not like rucked up at the back of his head. But I haven't done it at the moment, but I will when I get it into a final pose. Like I say, the fake zips down onto the sleeves. Jeans really nicely done. All in all, the outfit is perfect. The lace-up sides, you see there. Just really like it. It fits in really well. It's a style that I would wear myself, I think. I do like the leather jacket with the jeans and then the hoodie underneath. Like I say, it's got a black t-shirt underneath, and I will mention the black t-shirt underneath is a lycra material, and I noticed the bottom part of the neck on this figure had dyed off of that, so be careful. And it actually came out of the box with a plastic wrap around the neck, but it's still dyed through onto the lower section of the neck. It's not anywhere where you would see the neck, but that's what the under t-shirt does. So I just thought I'd point that out. Just show you on this one, just briefly. Nice brown jacket. There is a full review on this. He just has a black t-shirt underneath. He has his necklace. This also has it, but you can't see it for the scarf. Moving down, nice belt, the black tight jeans, and so on and so forth. I'll just show you around. The symbol, again, is on the back of this. Look, you can tell when I touch it how it moves. You know it's top quality. Even if you've never seen this figure in hand, you know just looking at that. See grain in leather? Fucking toppy dollar. And bearing in mind, these figures on release are between 100 quid. Well, some of them are down to about 85 quid. I think 2 were 85 quid on release to a Spade, up to about 110. So if you can get them on release, the value is fucking unbelievable, but I'll clear that up. So, the outfit on the exclusive variant, again, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5, simply because I do love the design of it. I like the execution of it, the style of the jacket, the jeans. It just all goes. It looks cool as fuck. Even get his cap on. Get him looking beastly. That is beautiful. I think you'd agree. It's a lovely 5 out of 5. Rolling on to articulation, or the body in general. Like I said, I've covered these figures before, and they are pretty much on the same body. I will also say at that point as well that a friend of mine, Tony May, is actually creating some custom versions of these figures on Hot Toys style bodies, and he is cutting off the head sort of at the top section so that the articulation will include the upper neck articulation. I like these bodies because you can get them with really natural lines, and I do think they fit the cartoony nature. Sometimes I will say the shoulders look a little bit awkward or a little bit empty looking, depending on where you position them, but that's all down to your sort of pose skills, I think. So I do like them. I do like the double bend through the knees, double through the elbow, get up really nice and tight. I do like the ratchet effects through the shoulders. It does feel really good quality, and I will say all the figures I've received have all been really smooth and really tight, so I do like that also. There's no articulation in the upper neck, and I like that, to be honest. If Tony does a really good job of doing it, it'll be interesting to see, but I like the fact that they are articulated at the lower neck so you don't see the neck join there. Limited articulation in the ankles because these are sort of boots that go up to this sort of area, but you can still get rotation and a bit of dip, so it's not too bad that I would mark it down. Good crunch, good rotation through the waist, really nice altogether. The shoulders move forward and back, the hands move really good, and they do normally come with a set of wrist pegs on them. The hands obviously are the cartoony style sculpt, although I wish we did get some more different ones now. So yeah, all in all, I really do like the bodies. There's no way I can really mark them down because the limitation in the articulation would be the upper neck, but I'm really glad it doesn't. So like I said, I can't dip it down on that because, like I said before, I can only score it if it bothers me so much. I will say as well, I've put his shoulder harness on, as you can see. Comes in the brown faux leather. You are actually supposed to put the belt through there, and it would keep it tight under his arm. But because I'll be taking it back off when I put his jacket back on, I didn't want to mess about with his belt just to show you. But it does fit on, it does look nice. So, yeah. Pretty simple pose, I think. Just pretty much going running forward, shooting as he goes, but just to demonstrate that the articulation is natural looking or fits the theme of the figure, and I do like that about it. So I'm going to give the articulation, or the body in general, I've got to give it another 5 out of 5 simply because I have done with the others. Rolling on to accessories as we look down. I will start off by saying, when you look at his accessories tray, it does look like he's got quite a lot in there, but when you start putting the things onto him, so you would then class them as outfit, then you start seeing that it doesn't bring a lot. Pretty much, like I said, everything you could put on him if you wanted. You could have his harness on underneath his jacket, but I think it would make the underarm area look a little bit too bulky, so I would have either the jacket or the harness. You get 2 clips which are inside there. The gun will fit into there quite nicely. Only one hand, again it's the middle finger up. I do like it and it is a signature hand, but I'm starting to wish now that they would just develop a couple more different style hands, because we pretty much get a left hand for holding something, a pistol right hand, sometimes a right hand for holding something, or you have to use that one. That's about it. Other than that, I've not seen any different hands, so I just wish they would develop either not so much a relaxed hand, but a fisted hand. I think they were a fist with the 4 of spades, I could be wrong. But I just wish there were just a few different hand styles, so even if one is a relaxed one, just so we can have some different options. Moving down, the bag is a nice touch. Again, this time it's black instead of the beige duffel bag that we got with the first version. Again, really nice. Working pockets, zips, buckles and straps. Does look nice posed on him, but I went for the pose without. You get the pistol. This time it's got sort of a gold wash on the metallic areas, which again makes it a colour variant to the first one. The first one brought a smaller pistol as well with a silencer. This one doesn't have it. I think that's the only thing that the first one brought that this doesn't have. It has the pocket chain leading around to the wallet. It has the flick knife with the blood on the blade. It does have the metal necklace on, but obviously you can't see it. It does have the scarf and the hat, which is an improvement on the first one. And the shades. So again, it's not a lot of stuff. Some of the others, I think the 2 of diamonds had more, I think the 4 of spades had more, and the 3 of spades definitely had more. The 2 of diamonds had a shotgun and a baseball bat. Sorry, 2 of spades. So it is pretty much mix and match. I do know the 5 of spades, I've seen the extras with that, and that brings a shitload. So sometimes you get plenty, sometimes you don't get all. The 3 of spades brought a spare head, so sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. This one, I don't know, it's not overloaded with extras, although I do like the stuff that brings with it. It is all top quality as well. But I'm going to only score it a 3 out of 5 because I don't want to go mental and seem biased, say, oh, this is fucking amazing. Although this is amazing because, like I say, it is a faux leather on the outside, and you notice, you see the inside of the strap, it's not just that cheap shit that you normally find on back of faux leather. It's like a really soft, feels like fucking moleskin or something. So it is top quality, and you get a feeling as well that all these little things aren't going to snap off first time you try and fit it. So yeah, it is all good quality stuff. But like I said, there's not enough of it. A few more hands, maybe another head sculpt, or maybe a battle damaged head. We haven't seen one yet. But I don't know, just not enough. So on the extras, it's only a 3 out of 5. I'm going to roll straight into value, and then I want to show him your setup with the other figures. The value, like I said, I was lucky, I paid stock, and I think stock were 220 Singapore dollars, which is pretty much £106 in England. But then, like I said, the shipping were quite expensive to say it were only standard speed shipping. So, but like I said, Paul and Belinda, they didn't try and have me pants down and fleece me and try and take top money, although I know some people did have to pay top money for it. So, but like I said before, I'm only reviewing this one. So the value to get a figure of that quality that I wanted that much, that's packaged so well, I think the value is a 5 out of 5. Because if any of these Hot Toys figures that's coming out recently were coming out for £106 plus shipping, then I'd be buzzing. But now, for a new release Hot Toys, you're pretty much looking 180, 190, 200 quid and onwards for like Iron Man and stuff like that. So, like I said, while these figures keep coming out, I think the standard prices on them are about 95 quid, which I think is fucking amazing because they are always top quality outfits. I love the head sculpts and the bodies are really good as well. So I do think that value is a 5 out of 5. If you paid like $400 or somewhere up to $600, then it's a lot of money for any figure and you would have had to really want it to have to stretch to that. But like I say, I know what the price on the original Jack of Spades did. I know there's only 300 of this one, so I don't think this figure will ever come down in price. It's going to be hard to find. Some people are going to moan and groan that they never got it, and I could understand it because I'd be the same if I'd not got it. But like I said, to be able to pick a figure up that limited for that price of this quality, it's toppy dollar. You can't argue with it. So like I said, again, the value, a 5 out of 5. I'm going to get them all stacked up now, show you the display, and I'll tell you my overall thoughts. Right, so to sum up, I pretty much knew as soon as I saw it I wanted it. I loved it, loved the outfit, I love the variant, although once the Memories version of Jay comes out, I've got to honestly say I hope they leave the character alone, because if people haven't got him by then they don't want him enough. I don't want to keep seeing them doing variants of each one. I want them to crack on, and I want to show us members from each gang, and I want them to start getting up to the higher card rankings. But for this one, I can understand why they released it, because the first version was so limited that people couldn't get it. I do like it. I think they have improved on the first version, although I'm glad the first version is what it is. It goes for good money and it is hard to find. I do like that. This might kill the first version a little bit, but I don't know, because I think this one as well will be very hard to find, particularly at a reasonable price. The reason I wanted it, because I'm building a little army here, as you can see. I do like the look of them all together, although it's pretty easy to fill out a shelf in this cabinet. I've had to do a major move round, which I will show you because I'm going to do a collection video soon, but I'll just show you how the guys look. Just introduce you. Obviously it's the first version of Jay. That's the 2 of Spades. 3 of Spades in the back corner. 4 down here. Moving on to the first release from the Diamonds, which is the 2. I think the 3's due any time now. My own creation from the Dev Grew figure. Pimped him out in a few outfits. Called him Clipper, didn't we? Called him Clipper. Look, he's standing down there. Then the new edition, it's the exclusive version of the Jack of Spades again. That's how they all look together, brothers. Another review done. The figure got a total of 33 out of a possible 35. I think you all pretty much expected it, because you know what I would score the categories if you'd seen one of my Gangsters Kingdom reviews before. I know they're not for everybody, and I'm kind of glad they're not. I love them. The other guys that are into them seem to love them, and long may that continue. But for now, oh sorry, again, thanks to Paul and Belinda. You've done me a massive favour there. I won't forget it. If there's ever anything I can help you with, I will do. And I think that's pretty much all I can say. Another review done. So for now, we're all out of here.